just had me on a bit of aroma. So we've been terrible in the third quarters. I'm thinking of using Brendan's strategy at halftime speech with that loud noise. It certainly woke me up. I don't know about you blokes. Scared the bejesus out of me. I'll just, like Stubbsy said, I'll just be speaking about a blueprint when we first came to the club. Obviously, myself and Brendan, we started about 5 days apart from each other, and obviously it was going to be an enormous journey from when we first started. So back when we first took over, Richmond in 2009, early 2010 were being compared to the worst side AFL, VFL history. From that point of view, effectively, the extinct Fitzroy, they were claiming we were worse than that side. So from our point of view, we as an organisation, as a football club, had to think outside the square. There are a lot of sides spending a lot of money. We weren't one of those. So we had to be smarter than the opposition in the things we did. Now, this isn't to say that we've made it the whole way, but we did a lot of things from a football club point of view where we utilised our resources very well. We made really smart decisions with what we were going to do with those resources to make sure we got our way up to the top. So to do that, we put out a clear and very public goal. 3 finals, 0 debt, 75,000 members. How do you think people saw this in 2010? They laughed at us. But as Brendan said, us as a football club, as an organisation, we demanded and we deemed that we had to set high goals to get what we wanted out of this footy club. We had to take our footy club higher than it had ever been. The best place to be, I guarantee you, is when expectations are high. That's when you get your best performance. So we set a very high goal. We had to restructure our list. Our list was ageing. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, we weren't a great football side. It was no one's fault. We had no resources to get us there. We had to invest in our football department. In 2010, we were AFL 14th. Now, remember, back then there was only the 16 teams in the competition. So we were right down the bottom in that. There's a very strong correlation with the amount of money you spend and the degree of success you had. So it has to increase the amount of money we spent. We had to beef up our recruiting and list management. In 2004, Richmond had 5 picks within 22. We had a part-time recruiter. We've now got 1 pick out of those 5 that are still here. That's Brett Delidio. So that should have been our draft that is now leading to premiership success. But unfortunately, when you've got a part-time recruiter, that isn't going to happen. At the same time, we know how Hawthorn went, who had a beefed-up recruiting list, who had the resources at that stage. The Punt Road redevelopment, the ME Bank Centre, as we've now got, becomes a huge cornerstone of what we do. The most important aspect of equipment we have is a football ground that we work on. The Fighting Tiger Fund was used to eradicate debt. We asked people to give, we asked people to help, we asked sponsors to get us the resources that we knew were going to make us good. But more importantly, every footy department decision we made was based on a premiership model. So every decision, although we were losing at the time, we decided that we were going to make that was going to be driving us to the ultimate success. So there's no shortcut philosophy. Sure, there'd be a couple of decisions that would prop us up for a little while to get us where we need to go to make us competitive, but overall, our overall philosophy was based with that one model in mind. But most importantly, and this is a key for any organisation in the world, the number one thing is getting the right people in the right areas. Foundation block number 1 in our footy club is character. We have what we call a no dickhead policy. If you're a dickhead, you don't get in the door. Because I guarantee you, where good people are, great things will happen. And that's the key of our footy club. We've got an outstanding CEO, great board, membership, all these people that are here tonight, they're all in the same block. They are outstanding people first and foremost, which gets us the best results. So whatever you're doing, whether it's a football club, a netball club, starting up a new business, in a business that's struggling, I guarantee you, if you've got character, you win. Because at the end of the day, my name is Damien Hardwick first and foremost, but my name is Damien Hardwick of the Richmond Football Club. The Richmond Football Club becomes my family name. The jumper is the thing that links us. So every time I go out there as me, I'm representing the Richmond Football Club. And I don't want anyone to tarnish our family name. Any organisation you are associated with should have exactly the same philosophy from that point of view. Whether it's an amateur football club, netball club, sporting organisation, whatever it may be. You get your people right, guarantee you good things happen. Then we had to come up with a philosophy about how we did things. And this was it. We wanted to educate. We wanted to teach the coaches and more importantly then teach the players. We had to organise, make work more efficient and model-based. Everything done to promote individual and team improvement. So we don't do anything within our football game plan, training or that is not done to improve. Everything is always related back to what we do. Analyse. We study the cause of every problem, and believe me, there are a lot when we first started. But more importantly, we amend the process for a more positive outcome. We track, we map out the process, and the most important thing is we give people ownership over that process. At the end of the day, I don't want to be doing the whole thing myself. That's not the way things work. But the big one for us was all coaches have to have high standards of professionalism. The reality is coaches, players, they all emulate their leaders, so it's really important that we do that. Once again, all based around the people that you bring into our organisation. So then we had to go on to what we wanted our team to look like. So we knew what we wanted a side to play like, but more importantly, we had to come up with a philosophy of what the Richmond Football Club player that anyone could come to on any given day, what they would see. Strong, fast, smart, tough, character-based football team that consistently challenges us for finals. Listen, a couple of these, like I've got Newey in the front row, not overly smart, certainly not fast, not strong, not tough. I don't know how he got in here. But those sort of players, that sort of people is what I wanted, or what we wanted, our football club to look like. So for example, if I'm going to a local football club, I say, well, what do you want your team to look like? What do you want them to play like? And in essence, what you should come back with is, well, this is what I'm after. Strong, fast, smart, tough. Easy, go and find them. Wish it was that easy, believe me. So how do we get our side to look like that vision? Well, that's where recruiting the proper people came in play. So we had to have a specified recruiting model, the type of people we were after to fulfil the fantasy we had of winning an AFL premiership at some stage. So the foundation blocks we spoke about. So these are the things our recruiters went out and looked for. The first one, as we spoke about, was character. They had to be great at this. They had to exhibit leadership qualities. They had to do all the things from a values point of view that we knew were going to represent our organisation in the best light. Now listen, every now and then, a dickhead comes in. But they want to be able to play bloody good footy. Then you're prepared to, I reckon, you know. The other one is they have to compete. Football is about competition. Life is about competition. You know, it's funny, people get incredibly jealous about people that are successful, but you know what they are? They bloody compete. In everything they do, they try to get to the best of their ability. They had to be effective by hand and foot. Now, some people will still argue this to this day, but our disposal efficiency is AFL number 2, I think, this year, Newey, from memory. So we are a very good kicking side, which is great. So recruiters have done a good job. And then most importantly, though, they've got to know how to play the game. Same thing within any organisation. You've got to have a general understanding of the job that you're actually applying for. You know, really important how we do that. But the big one for us, this is what we want it to look like, and this is how we get it done, which is really important. It's concentrating on those fundamentals, and that's what we went back with, and that's what we did. So as we said previously, the thing about your organisation that defines you, it's not when things are going well, it's more importantly when you're getting that kick up the arse. That's when you find out a lot about, I reckon, yourself, but more importantly, a lot about your organisation, how tough you are. All right?